Playing Volibear Jungle? Let's cover what you need to know. Volibear is going to be a versatile and aggressive jungler who excels at early skirmishes, tower dives, and punishing overextended enemies. He's got extremely strong engage tools and the ability to disable turrets with his ultimate. Volibear can snowball leads and create pressure across the map. Starting out with summoner spells, we're going to be taking Flash and Smite. In our runes, for our Keystone, we'll be taking Lethal Tempo, we'll be going to Triumph, Legend, Haste, and finally Last Stand. Our secondary tree, we'll be going Sorcery with Celerity and Water Walking. Our rune shards are going to be Attack Speed, Adaptive Force, and Health Scaling. This build is going to have a 54.7% win rate across 14,000 matches. For the core item build, we'll be starting out with the blue jungle item, and our first completed item will be the Cosmic Drive. This is going to give us ability power, haste, and movement speed, which will help with skirmishes. Boots of Swiftness to help mitigate slows, and then Flicker Blade, which is where most of your damage will really come from, getting massive CDR from some of our abilities. Final build will look like a Spirit Visage for magic resist. Dead Man's Plate is pretty good for mobility, but can be traded out for something like a Thornmail, and then you will get a ton of sustain by building Unending Despair. His ability max order 1 through 3 will be EWQ, and then that will flip into QWE once you learn all abilities at least once. His typical combo is going to be his Q Thundering Smash to initiate and stun the target. From there, you'll cast your E while you're running at the target Sky Splitter. This will give you a nice burst of damage and shield. From here, you will auto attack immediately. Once that auto lands, we'll be using our Stormbringer while the target is stunned from our Q. And you can also use your R to actually cancel the stun animation from your Q. And then from there, we'll use our W Frenzied Maw for increased bonus damage and healing. A few other tips and tricks. You're going to be using your Q as you are close to lane, as this does have a pretty short duration on it until it's maxed out. So if you want to land that stun, just make sure you're using it as you get close to lane. You can use your ultimate to dive towers safely. Just ensure that your teammates are in a position to be able to help follow up. And you will probably be your team's initiator, so mid-game, look to find solo targets because Volibear is really good at soloing and bursting down and being a tank. He's really good at a lot of different roles. So you kind of work as this assassin slash bruiser slash tanky sort of playstyle. It really depends on how you build. In terms of matchup, Volibear is going to be good into Sejuani or a Dr. Mundo or a Shyvana. And he's not going to be so good against junglers who can kind of peel him back, such as Jax, who can just stun and hop away. Ivern can kite you. Elise is another tough one. Or something that can just flat out outduel you, something like a Trundle. In terms of some of his strengths, he's going to be an extremely strong duelist, especially during the early game where he can force an enemy champion to use their flash if he manages to catch him out of position. Volibear is also going to be really good with tower dives with his ultimate, which we've already mentioned a couple times in this guide. So look to kill any sort of low health laners. And since he's able to pick people off so well in the mid game, you can use that to kind of snowball objectives. You can solo objectives very well like Rift Herald and Dragon. And you want to spend the early mid game playing him very aggressively. Now some of the weaknesses, he is countered very hard by grievous wounds that prevent him from healing. He's also very reliant on his auto attacks, especially if you're running something like Flicker Blade. So just sticking to a specific target can be difficult for him, and he can get kited back pretty easily, especially if your Q and ultimate are off cooldown. Another weakness is his farming potential. He typically has a little bit slower clear than some of the other major junglers, especially something like a Shyvana. So if he is unable to snowball that lead early, he can kind of fall off in the late game as you become more behind on your farm. That's going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. See you in the next one.